Hallo, hier ist Jana. Ich bin mal wieder nicht in meiner Bastelecke, sondern in Orlando, Florida. Wie man vielleicht unschwer an diesen Palmen erkennen kann. Und vielleicht könnt ihr auch erkennen, dass meine Stimme etwas weg ist. Leider war ich die ganzen 2 Wochen erkältet, die ich jetzt hier gewesen bin in Florida, um Urlaub zu machen. Jetzt am Schluss ist die OnStage-Veranstaltung von Stampin Up, so eine Convention, die hier live stattfindet. Und ich habe mir gedacht, ich nehme euch da einfach mal mit hin und zeige euch, wie das Ganze abgelaufen ist. Heute ist für mich der letzte Tag, aber ihr startet jetzt am 1. Heute ist Mittwoch, am Sonntag fliegen wir wieder zurück. Und wir sind jetzt hier gerade auf dem Weg zum Convention Center, wo die Stampin Up Veranstaltung OnStage live stattfindet. Heute fängt die Veranstaltung noch nicht an, beziehungsweise doch eigentlich schon, aber nur für Leute, die einen höheren Titel haben als ich. Also man kann bei Stampin Up so verschiedene Titel aufsteigen und so, und ab einem bestimmten Titel hat man dann vor der eigentlichen Veranstaltung den Tag zuvor oder den Abend zuvor eine spezielle Veranstaltung für die, die diesen Titel oder höher haben. Und nachdem ich da nicht mit dazugehöre, muss ich heute lediglich einmal hin, um mich zu registrieren. Und dann hoffe ich einfach mal, dass es mir morgen besser geht.
Rechts abbiegen. Nach einer Viertelmeile befindet sich das Ziel auf der linken Seite.
Vorsicht, das ist ein Huckel. Der scheint hier riesig zu sein. Mal sehen, ob wir es überhaupt finden. Wer jubelt denn da so? Ich habe noch gar nicht nachgeguckt, was ich alles bekommen habe, weil wir ja, nachdem ich mich registriert hatte, dann Disney Springs waren. Und hier haben wir mein Namensschild. Da ist jetzt nichts mit dabei, womit ich das anklipsen kann. Da muss ich mal gucken. Und dann hat man hier diese Dinger. Das muss ich dann da dran kleben. Silber ist mein Titel. Und Leadership, da habe ich irgendwas erreicht. Teamförderung im Jahr Stufe 1. Also das ist quasi Titelaufstieg in meinem Team. Dann haben wir hier dieses Heftchen. Ah, okay. Also ich bin dann bei den Vorführungen in dem Raum auf jeden Fall. Calypso Call. Siehst du, das ist nämlich hier farblich koordiniert. Da steht es auch nochmal. Und
nicht alle in einem.
Ach, die Agenda, okay. Gut, dann kannst du es dir ja mal durchgucken. Ich mache mal das hier auf. 30 Jahre und wollen uns bei Ihnen dafür bedanken. Schenken. Okay, das sieht aus wie eine Tasche. Da ist schon mal nichts drin. Ich habe eine Nummer, das ist garantiert für die Auslosungen wieder. Dann habe ich Stifte und das hier ist für mein Namensschild, aber da fehlt noch was, um das reinzustecken. Dann habe ich hier ein Stempelset. Das sind Büchlein, Notizbücher. Das ist ein Brustbeutel.
Kannst du da ein Dings reinmachen?
Ja, jetzt warte mal. Das hier ist was man zum Basteln hernimmt. Gehe ich mal da schon auf. Und hier ist das Stempelset Amazing Life. Also hier ist eigentlich das, was man dafür hernimmt. Aber es ist ja nichts zum Reinmachen. Meinst du, ich muss das dann da reinmachen?
Sieht schon so ein bisschen aus.
Ja, aber wo mache ich denn das dann hin? Ich muss mal gucken, wie die anderen das gemacht haben.
Musst du mal schauen.
Ja, weiß ich auch nicht so genau. Okay, heute ist Donnerstag und der erste Tag von der Stampin Up Veranstaltung OnStage Live. Wir fahren jetzt gerade los beim Keith. Boah, ist das hell. Und fahren zum Convention Center. Der Robert, der lässt mich da einfach kurz raus. Richtig parken kann man da nicht. Oder man muss voll weit laufen sonst. Dann muss ich mal gucken, ob ich irgendwen finde, den ich kenne. Könnte vielleicht etwas schwierig werden bei der Riesenmenge. Ich habe mir gedacht, ich setze mir mal meine Ohren auf. Ich habe meinen deutschen Haarschmuck, den ich mir eigentlich extra besorgt hatte, leider zu Hause vergessen. Habe ich nicht mehr dran gedacht. Okay, ich bin jetzt hier alleine. Der Robert hat mich rausgelassen. Keine Ahnung, wo ich irgendwen finde. Aber ich laufe jetzt einfach mal davor. Ich glaube, da könnte der Eingang sein. Da laufen auch immer schon ein paar Frauen hin. Bin ein bisschen spät dran. Der Verkehr war so dicht. Das heißt, der Saal müsste schon auf sein. Jetzt muss ich mal gucken, wo ich einen Platz finde, ob ich die anderen Deutschen finde oder ob ich mich irgendwo anders mit dazusetze. Da war die Registration gestern. Muss ich mal gucken. Hier draußen geht das Wochen los. Die Leute stehen alle rum und tauschen ihre kleinen Projekte aus, die sie gemacht haben. Ich warte damit mal noch ein bisschen. Ich bin da immer nicht so, dass ich drauf zustürme. Mainstage ist gerade aus. Von den anderen habe ich bis jetzt noch nichts gesehen. Das hörte sich gerade zumindest schon mal niederländisch an. Halle A2 und A1 ist auch.
Ladies and gentlemen, the show will begin in 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, you look great. How's this side over here? Say yeah. Okay. What about this side? Say oh yeah. Guys, we got something special in store for you this morning. We're celebrating 30 years. Can you believe it? Here we go. Anything's possible. It started with a dream. Let's get those hands going. You get better times no matter where you go. What we love, what we do, makes a difference in me and you. All these years of inspiration and love. We're gonna love and share it today. Oh yeah, come on.
Wasn't that amazing? Well, hello, and welcome to OnStage. I am so excited to be with all of you, wherever you are, whether you're here in Orlando or around the world at our other local event. We are all gathered together to celebrate our 30th anniversary, and I hope you're as excited as I am. It's our theme song for this event, and I think it will become a fast favorite. So imagine you're back in 1990 and Stampin' Up was only 2 years old. Here's a picture of Mom back then.
It stemmed from the fact that I was trying to do a full-time job and juggle all these different responsibilities I had. And then after I lost my mom, it was either I curl up in a ball and I just give up on life, or I move forward and I do the things that I want to do. And I know my mom only had a year after she retired to actually enjoy her retirement, and then she passed away. And so I think that was a huge learning lesson for me, is that we need to do the things that we want to do in life, because life's short and we never know when our time is up. And so I think it was at that point that I really committed to making this a full-time business for myself. It's something I had wanted for years and I struggled with for years.
Au tout début, dans mes premiers projets, je me souviens, la première fois que j'ai tenu une étampe, j'ai appris par ma marraine à créer un papier design en estampant. C'était ça, une révélation pour moi finalement.
So please join me in welcoming Janet Gallion and Pam Jorgensen to the stage as this year is part of Stampin' Up recipients. Stampin' Up will be helping Pam support a fundraiser benefiting a local hospital and cancer treatment center. Janet applied for a grant to help renovate a kitchen for her local Meals on Wheels program. It's a story that ties all of our stories together. Please accept our last Heart of Stampin' Up Award necklace with gratitude for all that you have done and all that you are. Okay, I think that's the last of it. Here are your catalogs. Okay, so we ended the recording. That was the recording part. Don't worry, we're going to have new catalogs. But because we have demonstrators here from all over the world, we need to hand out catalogs a little different. Sorry. Psych! Okay. So here's what we're going to do. I need you to sit back down. Now, when we call your specific market, I will have you stand, okay? Now, we don't have enough extra for you to
means the
take
different countries.
more than one. So we're going to start by handing out the catalogs for our friends from France. So if you need a European French catalog, not Canadian French, European French, please stand so that our staff can bring you your catalog.
Sorry? You came a long way. Yeah, definitely.
That's nice. It's like the nerves are high. Woo! So all cheering helps. And these products will get you to one free celebration item. Now, as a side note, according to dictionary.com, you can say gala or gala. Either way. I prefer gala because I think it sounds a little bit more fancy. But you know what? You do what you want. I'm trying to just get us all prepared for, so we don't have like the macaron arguments that we've been having for the last couple of years. Let's start off with a note card. These butterfly stamps, there's several different kinds in this stamp set, and they have different detail to them. So here's one example. Then they have the little pieces that provide a background. They stamped off. See how pretty that is? So with the same ink pad, just drag it across your card, and then stamp some butterflies on it. Look like this. And I thought I would create a kind of a sunset. So I'm going to make this one a little bit darker. Now once I stamp a cactus over that, it will look more like a sunset. There we go. There's several, and they have such beautiful backgrounds. So that's that one. And then the punches them both out at the same time, except for I stamped too high. But you get the idea. Let's see. So I want to show you a couple of projects. I'll start off with one of the pieces of designer series paper. I've already scored it, actually. So I'll just fold that. I scored it right in half, 6 by 6. And I'm going to chop it off at 4.5 inches. And then from here, I'm just going to slice it. Then we can see both sides of the designer series paper. So that makes it a little bit fun that way. We'll slide a card down in there and it will look like this once we punch the butterflies out. One more project we can do is this adorable little box. Now you can do this in a couple of ways. I don't know if you've played around with boxes very much, but they're really easy to do once you start investigating that a little bit. So this could be easy for a casual customer to see the score lines, simple little folds. You just notch them once you get it cut and scored, and it folds up into an easy box. So I thought maybe I'd teach you one of those dance moves that we did this morning, so next time we hear the theme song, you can work along with us, okay? This is not very hard, you don't even have to stand up. So I believe the words are Stampin' Up. I forgot. It's something about our way. Do you remember, Tom? Doing it our way? It goes like this, Stampin' Up, and then it's like this, doing it our way. Okay? Do that with me. Stampin' Up, it's our way. I can't believe I forgot the words. Anyway, one more time. Stampin' Up, our way. Okay? And you can do, the shoulders, you can get them going, okay? Use the black and white paper with some of the elements. Kind of nice like that. Oh, see that there's the gingham on the other side right there. Here's another one where some of the butterflies have been cut out to be used as main elements. You can see a few different colors there to highlight the designer series paper. Thank you very much.
about celebration rewards. For weeks, I thought about what I wanted to say, and nothing felt right. Then my two oldest daughters, Lila, who's 13, and Emmy, who's 11, came into our room, sat on the bottom of our bed, and opened up a laptop to a PowerPoint presentation. Yes, my girls wanted something so badly, they created a PowerPoint presentation. What did they want? They wanted to go to Mexico with my sister, who goes down there a couple of times a year to do service work. And they hadn't gotten an answer from us as quickly as they wanted it. So they took matters into their own hands. After listening to their presentation, I realized my girls had helped me put together my presentation today. This is Lila and Emmy's first slide. Rules. They started out by telling us what to expect. They asked us to hold comments and applause until the end, which you don't have to do for me. And then they asked us not to yell at them. I feel like I need to explain that. It was 10:45 on a school night, and they should have been fast asleep. My girls had been dropping hints about going to Mexico. They were saying things like, "What do you think the weather's like in Mexico this time of year, Mom?" Or, "Boy, I bet my Spanish would get even better if I went to Mexico." This was their next slide. They wrote, reason number 1, sister bonding. You guys say that you want us to get along and you don't want us to remember fighting. If you send us to Mexico together, we'll most likely remember that more than fighting. There are 2 ways to join. 1, you get a kit with more value than any other time during the year, and 2, you get a kit with more value than any other time during this year, and this exclusive tote. This tote will be available to you, our current demonstrators, to buy next month. This next slide might be my favorite. The girl said, "This one's for you, Dad. We won't be here. We'll be gone, out of your hair. We won't be here to bug you or make messes or fight, and we'll be watched the entire time." Birdie Flamingo. Doing Pineapple Punch. And Daffodil Delight. That's not too good for being shaky, right? So I just took this and I put it right on a card. This would be great for beginning stampers because it's just stamps, ink, and paper. This one, right after you stamp it, you just quickly watercolor it to blend that a little bit, added the sprinkles, some embellishments, popped it up. And then this last one, I actually stamped it separate like this, and then you outline it with your stamping right, and then fussy cut it. These cards would be great to do at an event because they can easily be adapted to all levels of stampers. We wanted to create a sentiment set for celebration, and we wanted it to be something you and your customers would love. We reached out to demonstrators all over the world and asked you what sentiments you would like to see in a set. This set was created from the responses that you sent in. They're unique to each language, so we have an English version, German, French, and Dutch. So this first card, I just stamped in StazOn, did a little bit of watercoloring, and then this tag right here is from the Frosty Bouquet Flamelets. That's right. I usually love watercoloring because it's so relaxing, but I don't know if I feel that right now. There's that. I did a separate little piece like that to create this card. This one is on the Sweet Treats cup. It's a layering circle, same watercoloring underneath. Then I stamped the mountains and the little sun rays, and then from there I cut them down to make an oval, like that. Now the reason I did this is I wanted to be able to fit the believe right in between there. And I thought about what my friend Missy told me that her good friend Linda says, and it is they are tools, not jewels. So I cut it, because it doesn't affect anyone at all. And there you have it. Thank you so much. We are giving away part of my story stamp set. Can we please have a drum roll? gratitude. This morning has been really emotional for me. Sobbing in the background. Oh, sobbing out here. Look at this. Anyway, I am really grateful for all of you. The theme of my presentation today is sharing gratitude. And you'll notice that the samples I share with you today can all be used to express thanks and gratitude. Let me just tell you, the old clear mount, I didn't hardly ever put my label on, but I can tell you you're going to want to put your label on, you're going to want to mount your label, because that's where the stick is on, and I'm just trying not to get in the way, because once you set it down, let me tell you, it's not going anywhere. It is so sticky. And in fact, this is my word of caution. When you take it out of your case or off of your block, just, let me see if I can, just pick up the corner and go gently, slowly. Because let me tell you, if you take, especially off your block, and you just go to grab the stamp, it will rip your phone. That's how clean it is. Let me show you the first set with the best catch. I want to focus on the texture around the sweet cup. I sacrificed one of my cups. It's worth the 85 cents, at least American dollars, to sacrifice and just cut it apart. That's what gives you your pattern. And then just make your pattern about a quarter of an inch on both sides, a little longer, so a half inch longer for the wrap. Because once you put it inside of your dynamic textured impressions embossing folder, whoever says that, right? Who says the whole thing, your teeth? Anyway, once you put it in through twice to get your textured background, then you will come over to your sweet cup, and before you take your protective cover off, you'll want to just wrap it around, because it doesn't quite always fit, because depending on where you live and how humid it is. So you'll just take and work this to stretch it. Just gently stretch it until you know it's going to fit. See, we're getting closer. While it's not hard, it definitely is more time consuming with lots of steps. For that wet look, an embossed clear right on the front cake. Give it a little bit of texture, some wrinkles. Run it through the big shot to give you your wet look. And then to get this look right here with these front two, kind of curly and more natural, you'll just take your bone folder and you will work the fibers. You've all done this before. You distress it forever until it finally starts to pull apart. And then you can get the faux suede look. I tend to take longer when I watercolor because I'd rather go over it 2 or 3 times to get the colors that I want. Anyway, you get the drift. When you pull one back that's dried, it looks gorgeous, and it doesn't matter how you watercolor it. He turns out great every single time. You're going to 4 by 12, score at 4 and 8, cut diagonally, have a little bit of tear and tape. And then what I want to point out, so there's your little pocket for your tea, but I just want to adhere it in the center so that I'm not seeing my adhesive. You can see it right here, your watercolored cup of tea, a little bit of Wink Stella, and you guys can look at that later, because I'm way out of time, and I feel really bad about that enough not to show you this last image. So we're just going to use some crushed curry and stamp the doily in the background. And I think it's forgotten. We don't use it like we used to. It was something we learned as we were beginners, but we don't really do it as often. We'll reactivate the ink, add the sentiment, layered with 2 pieces of cardstock. Now I know there's something that would make a few of you anyways, maybe a few hundred of you pretty happy right now. That's the prize control. The winners will receive the that I just showed you. When I got the phone call from Dale, Hampshire, to do this presentation, I felt a level of excitement that I had yet to feel in my life. But it was immediately followed with a level of terror that I had yet to feel in my life. 2 things I have learned as a grade 7 teacher are, number 1, you need to be yourself.
But I learned that from the fact that grade 7s are brutally honest. Grade 7s are very involved in social media, and so they instantly were curious as to what their teacher was up to. I had 3 of my young ladies sit me down and say, "McKay, you gotta stop." And I'm like, "Why?" Now, I'm gonna tone it down, because I would not repeat necessarily how they may have presented it, but they said to me, "These are awful." And you know, your teacher heart broke, and I went, "Why?" And they said, "Because you're not you. So if you take nothing else out of my presentation today, please just be you, because there's nobody else better qualified to do that." Okay, so this sweater is 50 years old. It was crocheted by my grandmother for my mother when my mother was 18. Now this wasn't my mom's mom, this was her mother-in-law when her and my father were getting married. They just celebrated their 50th anniversary this summer, so I thought this would bring me a little bit of good luck today. So these super cute little note cards are just done using the stamp super quickly, and you can see here that it does that gorgeous embossing, but it didn't punch it out. But guess what it does? Yeah. And it gives us a gorgeous stitch shape, super cute. When I went into this one, what I wanted to do was make sure that I had a card that someone could create even without their big shot. Because the stamps are very detailed, and the majority of our new ink pads are very, and I can't stand the word, so I apologize, juicy. I feel very brave wearing this sweater and stamping in Pocket Parade. Okay, so I picked it up. Now, I'm gonna stamp it. You're not getting a ton of detail there. Can you see that? Here's my trick. What I want you to do is take a well-loved bone folder, as I've got right here. You can see it's been used many times over. And what I found works great with a dark color ink pad is I just worked my ink down a little bit, did the exact same thing. Yeah, huge difference. And on that note, I will show you your super cute make and take that you're going to do. Yep, preferably right way up. There you go. Anyway, thank you so much for allowing one of my Stampin' Up dreams to come true to present for you today.
I'm going to take the gear die and I'm going to drop it right on that ink pad. And because I don't want inky fingers, I'm just going to use this piece of paper to kind of press that down. And I would go now, set that on my cardstock and run that through the big shot. You can see how that just adds a lot of extra dimension. So for this banner, I have used the large letters framelits, and if you see the garage gear is my favorite thinlet right behind there, and again enhanced with the crushed curry. And then I used the thoughtful banners on stamp set and added some adjectives that I know are he is going to love this.
Der erste Teil der Veranstaltung ist jetzt rum. Und jetzt begeben sich alle in ihre Räume, wo Mittag gegessen wird. Ich muss jetzt mal gucken, ob ich dann ein paar von den Deutschen finde. Ich habe vorher schon die andere Jana von Janas Welt gefunden, aber da war leider kein Sitzplatz mehr frei. Deswegen saß ich jetzt hier alleine neben 2 Amerikanerinnen. Ich denke, das kann sich noch ein bisschen nehmen bei so vielen Menschen. Ich weiß gar nicht genau, wie viel wir sind, aber ihr sollt auf jeden Fall keine Panik aussprechen, würde ich mal sagen. Okay, ich bin zumindest mal draußen und jetzt muss ich noch weiter bis zu meinem Raum Calypso Coral. Das ist eine spezielle Farbe von Stampin' Up und da muss ich wohl noch bis ganz nach da hinten. Das hier ist unser Mittagessen. Verdammt, das geht ja gar nicht auf, zumindest nicht mit einer Hand. Kannst du mir mal helfen? Ach übrigens, hier ist Jana von Janas Bastel.
Schön kauenderweise.
Ach, warst du gerade beim Kauen?
Ist aber nicht schlimm.
Und von wem hast du deine Nachricht?
It's German.
You're a superstar. Enjoy OnStage.
Von Lori.
Du hast jemanden aus Frankreich. Ich habe einen DS-Agent. Hier aus den USA. Das ist doch Demonstrator Support, würde ich mal sagen.
Oh nein!
Also hier sieht man unsere einsamen Swaps von den beiden Janas aus Deutschland. Hier oben steht Swaps, aber irgendwie hat noch keiner was hingehängt. Also wir sind hier in unserem Raum, wo wir unser Mittagessen zugenommen haben und das wird so unterteilt nach irgendwelchen Farben. Ja, weil es sind einfach viel zu viele Leute und damit die hier an den Tischen sitzen können und dann auch basteln und irgendwelche Sachen ausstanzen, wie man hier sieht, die ganzen Big Shots, die hier stehen, ist es eben so, dass wir unterteilt sind und irgendwie wollte noch keiner was hinhängen. Den hier hat Jana von Janas Bastelwelt gemacht. Voll cool. Ist das ein Einkaufsschub? Nee, ne? cooles Teil. Ja, das da ist mein kleines Mini-Album. Jetzt ist es nicht entfaltet, ne? Man kann es nicht sehen. Also das ist noch innen reingefaltet und das waren alles die Logos, die du auf der Webseite finden konntest. Ich glaube, es macht mehr her, wenn man es entfaltet sieht. Ja, also mehrere.
Das Deutsche ist bei der Küche.
Das hier ist die Halle. Wir haben hier diese Schauwände, die verschiedene Jahreszahlen zeigen, mit Fotos und was da war. Wir haben hier ganz viele Tische mit Länderflaggen drauf. Da sind lauter Tische mit Big Shots, genauso wie da drüben. Und die Leute sind jetzt alle fleißig am Basteln. Ein Tuch, ja. Nur ich nicht, weil ich sowas nämlich nicht gerne mache auf solchen Veranstaltungen. Mir ist das immer viel zu stressig. Und von dem her tue ich mich jetzt etwas aus. Aber das sind die Karten, die gemacht werden hier. Wobei das ist eigentlich eine Verpackung. Ich habe mir gedacht, ich nutze die Zeit mal sinnvoll und schaue mir an, was es hier noch alles so gibt. 2000 ist nicht der Anfang. Ich muss mal den Anfang finden. Und hier sind die neuen Produkte aus dem Frühjahr-Sommer-Katalog. Die neue Tasche. Okay, also das hier waren die Anfänge. Die ganzen alten Familienfotos, voll witzig. Aber was man hier auf jeden Fall sieht, ist, dass sich doch das ganz schön gewandelt hat von früher, die Geschmäcker. Nicht nur die Frisuren und so. 99, ich glaube 2000 war hier. Office 2004. Okay, dann kam Australien dazu. 2007 kamen nämlich dann hier Großbritannien, Frankreich, Deutschland und Neuseeland dazu. Da sieht es eigentlich schon aus wie heute, würde ich sagen. 2008. 1 Million Sales Achiever. Das war wahrscheinlich die erste, die 1 Million Umsatz gemacht hat. Da ist Steffi Helmschwatt von Stempelwiese und die ist die erste Europäerin gewesen, die 1 Million Umsatz bekommen hat. Okay, und das ist es jetzt für heute. Und da haben wir Tammy White, die 2 Millionen geschafft hat. Also die anderen sind immer noch fleißig am Basteln. Ich glaube, wir haben jetzt noch 1,5 Stunden Zeit oder so. Ich weiß gar nicht genau. Aber ich habe gar nicht richtig angefangen hier bei diesen Schauwänden, die zeigen, wie die Jahre vergangen sind. Ich habe an der falschen Stelle angefangen. Das heißt, mir fehlt noch der richtige Anfang und den schaue ich mir jetzt noch an. Der richtige Anfang ist nämlich hier 1988. Da sah das Originallogo noch so aus und die Familie so. Das war der erste Stempel im ersten Katalog. Ist ja witzig. Aha, aber es gab anscheinend schon die Stifte. Ja, also die Stempel sahen auch noch komplett anders aus, ne? So, den Rest habe ich schon gesehen.
I think we're all going. Yeah, I was thinking yeah. This laser. So anyway, just wanted to share with you guys all a quick sneak peek. Yeah. Yeah. So this. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's so pretty. I like these leaves.
Und die Leute sind immer noch fleißig am Kurbeln. Viele Demonstratoren stehen jetzt hier an, um ein Foto zu machen in diesem Rahmen und haben da ganz viel Spaß mit. Und hier hinten ist eine Fotowand, kein Rahmen, sondern eine Wand. Auch da stehen sie an und wollen da Fotos vormachen. Ich bin sehr schlecht mit Namen. Weil ich fand, da sah man eigentlich nicht schlecht.
Welcome back. We hope that you enjoyed your lunch, your stamping time, and chatting time. We have lots of great things planned for you this afternoon with some of your fellow demonstrators sharing stamping projects as well as business ideas. You know what's exciting about that? I looked around the room and there was like a splattering everywhere. Every section had council members.
I am so honored to be here today to talk to you about something that I am so passionate about, and that is sharing Stampin' Up with others. First of all, I've been a demonstrator for a little over 18 years, and I've been married to my high school sweetheart. I also have 4 grown children. My youngest is 9, and also we have a 14-year-old. And both of them came along thanks to a couple of those Stampin' Up cruises that we've been on. The love of my team and seeing their growth, their bonding, their supporting one another, and the inspiring of one each other is what I'm going to actually talk about with you today.
Well, hello, hola, guten tag, bonjour, good night. That's a few anyhow. I have been a demonstrator for 14 and a half years. I've been married almost 20 years, and I have 4 boys, 15 down to 3 years old. So I'm also one of those stories of my family comes first right now. So I have never earned a cruise, but I got goals when that 3-year-old gets to school. We'll get that cruise sometime. I mean, isn't it awesome that we're from all over the world here? We are family, right? We're sisters. My woohoo stampers and my who's your mama stampers. The more I played with it, the more I was like, I think you guys are gonna think this is a piece of cake to sell. You're gonna need it. It's designed for a beginner stamper. Very easy. And then on the inside, it says, who cares what the question is? Isn't that so cute? I embossed the white over the navy cake there, and I embossed the saying, count the good times, not the candles. And then on the inside, I have, hope this year's a piece of cake. Happy birthday. So those stampers who want everything, like we do, right? This is a very simple card that you can use the hinge technique with. The next card is kind of my over-the-top card. So I use the Stamparatus and our Big Shot.
Cute little giggle. Let's give her a big round of applause. We are now ready to congratulate our top demonstrators overall. From each country, there are 105 top overall performers worldwide, and we have 54 here with us today. Isn't that exciting? First, from Austria, we have, at number 6, Astrid Hoffmann. At number 3, Barbara Mayer. At number 1, Fanny Minna. And from Germany, we have at number 8, Nadine Weiner.
Ich kann nicht mehr
And
schreien.
at number 4, Jenny Colley.
Ich kann es einfach nicht.
Our French top overall demo performers are, moving on to the Netherlands, we have at number 8. And finally, let's give a hand to our top performers in the United States. At 25, Connie Stewart. Ranged 3rd with 5 qualified recruits, Barbara Mayer. Let's give a hand for our top recruit performers from France. From the Netherlands, we have
Die sind da irgendwie verschollen. Oh, jetzt kommen sie alle auf einmal.
And our top ranked recruiter in the U.S. with 86 qualified recruits, Robin Carter. First in the Netherlands with over 33,000 CSV in sales, Helena de Breyen. And our top selling demonstrator in the UK with 184,542 CSV in sales, Sam Hammond. Let's give a hand for our top sales performers from Australia. Now let's congratulate our top performers in sales from Canada.
Ja, da kommen sie. Schau mal, da sind wir. Hast du uns gesehen? Meine Ohren sieht man denn. Du musst auf die Ohren achten. Kannst dich aber noch hinziehen, du. Do you got one? Is one missing now? Oh, okay. Magst du einmal aufmachen? Lass uns doch mal reingucken. Alles raschelt. Also die Stifte, Kleinkram.
Vielleicht auch Holzwein hier?
Ja, wahrscheinlich die breiteren, ne?
I signed up a long time ago just to get a discount like you did. I'm still buying stamps. I also have these huge, they're rectangle stitch cards. There's 13 of them. Lucky first beginner card I'm going to show you is just like one stamp on the paper and you're ready to go. Those little flowers, those little leaves. And you might think it's funny, I have a blue plant, but I happen to like it. Night and navy is a great color. If you want green plants, you can have green plants, but I kind of like it. So let me show you this finished card that I made with this, because gingham ribbon is the bomb. It pops open. When I first saw this, I thought it was so cute, and it kind of looked familiar in my head. And let me show you real quick. Pretend that this is a 5 by 5 piece of paper. That's what you need on the inside. So you're going to fold it in half, open it, fold it in half again, and then fold it diagonally, and then that's going to go in, and it's going to look like that, right? Do you know what it makes? A really pretty folded star. I probably made one about 20 or 25 years ago. And when you glue 6 of them together, it makes a beautiful ornament. If you haven't tried it yet, emboss on this watercolor paper. Aren't those pretty? I did a vertical and a horizontal for you so that you could see both of them.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's great to be here. The topic of our next presentation is how to use social media to find new customers. In fact, all 3 of these panelists have a lot of experience in using social media to gather customers and build their business.
Be visual with photos, with graphics, with memes. Make sure you catch their attention, because text just isn't going to capture anyone these days on social media. Always be you, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Put it out there.
Thank you. So I work full time and I study, so I don't really have a lot of spare time. And so to have a successful business, I need to be really effective. So here's the simple card that I have made for you today. It is simply the focal image stamp, stamped in black, and then all I've done is use watercolor pencils to really make those images pop. So I'm going to show you a technique that I'm calling partial stamp technique. So I'm going to use the stamp artist, and I only need 1 plate because I'm keeping it simple. And what you want to do is get your ink pad with a small amount of plastic at the top. You're going to take the corner and partially ink the stamp, and then press down. Now it doesn't really look like much now, but we're going to build it up. By looking at the picture and looking at what you've got, you can kind of get an idea of the bits that you've missed and start to slowly ink them up. Now at this point you can do 2 things. You can keep on inking the colours that you've got, or you can do what I prefer and do a 3rd layer in Versamark and emboss. So here's the final card using that technique. So all I've done is added some ribbon and some sequin trim. All I've used is the stitched around bundle for a sentiment and a little bit of fanciness. And then I've stamped the focal image and the small flower many, many times and fussy cut them all out. I've laid them around the sentiment. Can I get a drum roll?
Okay, also habe, wie ihr hören könnt, kaum noch Stimme. Die Klimaanlage ist so extrem. Ich habe jetzt selbst meine Jeans runtergekrempelt, habe noch eine Strickjacke angezogen und ein Halstuch an. Aber gerade die letzte Session, die wir hatten, in der großen Halle, hatte ich das Gefühl, es war sogar noch kälter als vorher. Ich meine, ich bin hier richtig, weil der Robert holt mich da ab, wo wir gestern geparkt haben, um mich anzumelden. Und ich meine, wir sind hier lang gelaufen. Jetzt hoffe ich mal, dass er dann schon auf mich wartet. Wir hatten um 5:45 aufgehört, dann statt um 6:30. Aber nachdem ich eh noch etliche Minuten brauche, bis ich hier durchkomme und vor allen Dingen eben bei der Masse an Menschen, aber auch bei dem Weg, den ich zurücklegen muss, um dahin zu kommen, wo er mich abholt, denke ich, dass er schon da sein sollte. Und dann bin ich auch echt erledigt für heute. Ich muss da nicht unbedingt noch irgendwas machen, shoppen gehen oder irgendwas. Es ist einfach nur anstrengend. Dann werde ich gucken, dass ich bis morgen meine Stimme wieder habe. Und mir wahrscheinlich noch mal ein paar extra Tabletten besorgen. Die sind nämlich jetzt dann alle. Weil die zumindest so helfen, dass ich nicht mehr so krasse Halsschmerzen habe. Aber die Lautstärke und dass man so schreien muss und dann diese Kälte. Puh. Ich glaube, ich sitze ihn da schon sehen. Ich glaube, ich sehe ihn da schon sitzen. Da ist er doch. Und es ist ziemlich warm hier draußen, aber im Moment ist das gerade noch gut, weil ich noch so komplett abgekühlt bin von drinnen. Hallöchen. Ich muss unbedingt noch irgendwas zu Abend essen und wir waren jetzt noch im Target und dann habe ich mir beim Pizza Hut Express eine kleine Pizza geholt. Die ist wirklich klein. Habe mir dazu aber noch ein paar Brotsticks geholt. Das Essen auf der Convention, auf der Veranstaltung war jetzt nicht so üppig, dass man da irgendwie besonders satt von geworden wäre.